Pause to reject. Pause in order to reject thoughts that try to give you a wrong perspective of who God is. Thoughts that try to mislead you only to lead you astray from God's perfect plan for your life. Thoughts that try to frustrate you, trying to keep you away from paths that God orchestrated for you to walk in before the foundations of the earth. You need to take a pause in order to reject thinking patterns that don't align with God's pattern for your life. See, when you take a pause, you learn to unlearn. Whatever you were ungrateful for, you begin to be grateful for. Whoever you took for granted, you begin to value. Instead of wasting, you gather and appreciate. Yes, it's good to grind and to get a grip of some rands and wear the finest drip and not drop the ball, because we need to keep the ball rolling. But we also need to take a pause so that we don't make the mistake of taking thoughts that are not of God, thoughts that try to make us believe that life is only about having more ends and being grand and having the finer things of life, thoughts that try to make us believe that being noticed validates your call, thoughts that try to make you believe that we can't be influential if we aren't influencers. You need to learn to reject thoughts that try to make you believe that you can only make an impact when you stand on grand stages. Thoughts that try to make you believe that being busy means you are in your purpose and that taking a pause is being lazy and uninspired. Thoughts that have made others believe that being hard on yourself and wearing your struggles as a badge of honor is the only way to ensure success, without knowing that there is a difference between working hard and being hard on yourself. Yes, there is a time to endure to ensure that you secure the bag, but there is also a time to sit back and enjoy what you once looked forward to. Yes, sit back and enjoy what you once looked forward to. In the times we live in, it's getting easier to be hard on ourselves, while it's getting harder to be easy on ourselves and take a pause. While we live in a time where it is more pleasant to be fully booked even when you are feeling empty, take a pause. While we live in a time where it is more important to look the part even when you know deep down that you are falling apart, take a pause. While we live in a time where building an empire and a career is more important than building yourself and your family, take a pause. While we live in a time where your best is not good enough because you are being measured by the amount of followers you have, take a pause. While we live in a time where being in the noise is preferred over quiet time, seeing that some want to avoid the void that only God can fill. Take a pause. While we live in a time where many claim to be close to God, but behind closed doors they are far away from Him. But most importantly, take a pause to remember that more than anything, you were created to have a relationship with God. You need to take a pause to stop activities that try to put you in such a hurry that you end up burying your relationship with God with the pleasures of this world. Your perception of God is getting blurry. You are beginning to feel unworthy, forgetting that He made you worthy. You rise up early with work in your mind rather than God's mercies that are new every morning. You are worrying about things that you know very well that God has already taken care of. Carrying the pressure of this world, forgetting that you are meant to cast your cares on the feet of Jesus because He cares about you. Don't allow the pleasures of this world cause you to forget that you are begotten by God, made for His pleasure. Please don't forget that God takes pleasure in leading you in the best paths of life, causing you to rest in lush meadows, because He takes pleasure in your prosperity. He takes pleasure in you being in good health, having healthy relationships, and living in so much peace that you have the power to silence your thoughts when they don't align with His word. I want to remind you that taking a pause doesn't mean that you are off course. Because when we pause, we learn not to undermine the unearned gift of life, the undeserved mercy of God, His unmerited grace towards us, and His unlimited love for us that propels us to live a purposeful, prosperous, and a peaceful life in His presence. Pause.